let's talk about your team. Let's talk about the Buffalo Bills. There was some controversy, I think, for Bills fans. I can only imagine how it felt, regardless of how things end up working out, waiting all night. And then you trade back and you're like, okay, we're going to be the last pick in the draft, whatever. I'm okay. And then trading out in the first round being like, I didn't get a pick tonight. Cool. Part of the draft, part of the fun is taking one in the first round, regardless. How do you feel about them trading with the Chiefs? Because I know a lot of people are saying you absolutely don't do it. You hang up the phone. I'm honestly, I don't think it's as crazy as everybody says. I get it. What's your opinion as a Buffalo fan?
No, it is crazy because I'd like to flash you back to 2017 when we did the same thing and Patrick Mahomes went to the Chiefs. It's happened before. Our biggest nemesis in the entire NFL is Kansas City.
The one team you can't get over.
We just shook hands with our enemy. Like, I do not understand it. I mean, I can't really talk more without getting into the pick conversation.
Okay, well, so before you get there, I'll say I understand it if you believe all of the guys that are going to go before you make your pick are not guys you want. Like maybe they say, yeah, we don't care about Worthy. The argument, though, is, yeah, but you're letting Worthy go to the Chiefs, where you know Andy Reid's going to unlock him. So most people just have the principle, you shouldn't trade with the team that is the one, like, you can't get over. Your biggest rival, like, in the league. Again, I kind of thought that's how you felt. When I saw the Buffalo traded to pick to Kansas City, I did, just being honest, I laughed because I thought the same thing. I thought about 2017. So what do you think ultimately about them trading to the first pick of the second round, taking Keon Coleman, wide receiver?
Okay, let's just start. I'm going to answer your question, but I may throw in a whole lot of other stuff too, right? When you traded the pick, you gave away the fastest wide receiver in the draft, the fastest guy to ever run a combine as a wide receiver in history.
Right.
You gave them to Kansas City, the team that you cannot beat in big games. You just gave them away. And like, I know that you can say, well, that wasn't our target and whatever. You gave away a beast of a guy who could have added a very key position to your team to try to backfill all the gaps you have now at wide receiver after you lost Stephon Diggs and Gabe Davis. Gabe Davis, you can say that maybe that's not a big gap to fill. Whatever, don't care. Stephon Diggs is a big gap to fill. I don't think he ever worked out great at Buffalo with Josh Allen. The numbers say so, but just the chemistry was never there. But to fill this void, you missed a huge opportunity to add some speed to your team. One thing about Buffalo, in their receiving core, they've never had speed. They've never had it. So now, not only does Kansas City have one of the fastest wide receiver out of this draft, they have Rashee Rice, they have Hollywood Brown, they have a killer receiving core. Listen to C.J. Stroud on the live draft coverage. He was scared that now Kansas City has all these weapons, right? So they now have back what they had with Tyreek Hill, by the way. Just want to let you know, watch out for Kansas City. Let's talk about Keon Coleman. I like him. If we're just going to knock out all the stupid stuff that Buffalo did and talk about Keon, I like the guy, okay? FSU, he was great. He had great hands. He high-pointed the ball. He's super athletic. I like him as a receiver. I think he'll do great. But ultimately, I would have rather have stuck to my guns just for like saving face on this and not acting like the biggest buffoons in the NFL and not having a first-round draft pick at all and letting the fastest guy get. This just pisses me off, Tristan. It pisses me off. I hope Brandon Beane gets fired.
Yeah.
I hope he gets kicked out of Buffalo so fast that he forgets his E on the Beane doesn't need an E at the end.
Why are we adding it?
It doesn't need it. I hope he gets kicked out so fast that he falls off and he's just Beane. He's just a regular Beane now. You know how many popular Beans there are? There's not any.
Well, who's the last person that came up to you and said, you know what, I love beans? Doesn't happen. It's never happened. No. Not gonna happen.
Not once.
You know, I think Brandon Beane is an underwhelming GM. The problem is he's not a bad GM. He's mediocre. And because of Josh Allen, because he made the Josh Allen pick, which, by the way, great. That is awesome. But so many blunders since then that I can't get over. Not that he hadn't made good draft picks, but either way, I'm not going to rehash that. You know I don't love Brandon Beane. I think they should find a new GM. Regardless, I don't think he's terrible. I like Keon Coleman a lot, but the 40 times scared me. Before he ran the 40, I wanted Kansas City to draft him. He was right there with Ricky Pearsall as the one I wanted. I was like, please, let us take Keon Coleman. When he ran the 40 and it was really, really slow, like people were worried about, I said I wouldn't take him just because it scared me. But it's a catch-22 because when you watch his tape, he doesn't play slow. I believe Keon Coleman's going to work out. I like him. I think he can be a prototypical X receiver, which they desperately need. So I like the pick. I think it can work out. I agree with you, though. I would have liked it better if they just didn't trade with the Chiefs and took him right there. I'm okay with it if they would have took him in the first round. But trading with the Chiefs to get what? So a little extra draft capital and letting the Chiefs get Xavier Worthy, who maybe they would have got anyway, but it creates a bad look to the fan base and stuff. And I do think you got to think about that stuff. But ultimately, I like Coleman. I really do.
And Tristan, you may say, well, you could still go get a veteran. No. Let me bring you to what Brandon Beane has said. The cap is the cap. The Bills have been linked to a lot of trade rumors, but they are nothing more than that, just rumors. If you're expecting something big or anything like that, there is no trade coming. So thank you, Brandon Beane, for just sealing the deal and saying, hey, you know what? This is what we got. This is what we're working with. Yeah, that's it. That's it. You want to talk about mediocrity. Him and Sean McDermott are, if you look it up in the dictionary, their pictures are right by the word, because that's all they are. They have greatness. They have lightning in a bottle with Josh Allen, and they're wasting it away day by day, not getting him any help around him. The Chicago Bears have gone and gotten perfect talent to fit around their new quarterback, Caleb Williams, while the Bills are over here twiddling their thumbs, trading picks to Kansas City, getting hardly anything out of it. Also traded with the Panthers, too.
Yeah, they did get nothing out of it.
Got nothing out of it. So it was an unneeded trade for a average at best wide receiver. And again, I like Keon Coleman. The 40, yeah, I know, but just the way he catches, like, look up some of his highlights from FSU.
And his
like,
contested catches, it's crazy.
Oh my gosh. He made like one catch behind his back and like upside down. It was crazy.
Oh, I loved his film. He was one of my favorite receivers just watching the film. It's just the 40 time just scared where I wouldn't have took him in the first round. I was like, I couldn't do it.
Yeah, well, they couldn't either.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. Here's the thing, though. The problem is they can't go add guys because they're in cap hell because of these decisions Brandon Beane has made. Paying an aging Von Miller, paying all these old guys and these contracts that didn't work out. That's the reason they're in this situation. But part of me believes they know that, and they're just accepting that 2024, they're not going to be able to be super competitive. They're still going to win their division because it's Josh Allen and they own that division. They're still going to make the playoffs, and they're still going to compete with Kansas City because it's Josh Allen. He's going to carry the team. I think Buffalo and Brandon Beane, they've accepted, hey, we're in a tough cap situation this year. We just got to take our medicine, and then we'll be back to competing in 2025. Like, our window with those players closed. We moved on from all the old guys. We're starting fresh. It's going to be rough this year. Next year, we'll be back in it.
It's always next year for the Buffalo Bills. Just want to keep saying that. It's always next year.
But this was a genuine roster overhaul.
Sure. Yeah. Whatever. The phrase is just, it's just old.